Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Leo. So, Leo, as usual, I'm doing a reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. And Leo, today your reading feels a little bit enigmatic and a little bit out of order. It doesn't seem like the cards are telling a straightforward story as they tend to build on top of each other. The pieces of information that I'm receiving from each card individually, they don't seem to match, at least not at first, because they seem to be very random. It's like random pieces of information or insights. The main thread or the common thread about your reading today has to do with relationships. Relationships where you feel cozy, where you feel welcomed, where you feel comfortable, where you feel at ease, and mainly where there is reciprocity. Because I feel like you've been accumulating a history of relationships that you have been carrying the weight of the other person. At least this is how I'm seeing it. And it's almost like maybe you have the belief, Leo, that this is imprinted in your DNA, and you have like a like a bad thumb for, I don't know if that's the way to say it, but it's how I'm hearing, a bad thumb for relationships, right? You don't know how to choose partners. And so it's almost like every relationship feels like a trap. So let's begin with the cards, because maybe showing you what I'm seeing will help you make sense of what this message is. We're beginning with the 10 of Wands. Very strangely, what I saw with this card was the skin of a leopard, all of the dots, right? And the various dots, because what I was seeing was like each circle here, each hexagon is a dot, and it's like this imprint, this mark that has been left on your skin, but more so in your DNA. It's how I picked it up, right? Because it's like the understanding that I was getting from this leopard skin, from the dots, is that no leopard is the same as the other. No matter how similar on the outside the skin seems to be, the dots are all unique. Meaning, this is all perhaps a metaphor for no matter how similar you have, joined all of this history of relationships, no relationship is the same as the other, because you are not the same in each relationship, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. The common thread, as I said, is that perhaps in your mind, the similarities, the points that you identify as the same in those relationships, in that history of relationships, is that you eventually ended up always carrying the burden, carrying the weight of your partner, of the other. And it feels like it's like you have to always be prepared for the next trap, for the next relationship. Seeing the Four of Swords as this mouse trap, this is how I'm seeing this Four of Swords. It's like, because you have accumulated all of these dots on your skin, Leo, and it's interesting because, Leo has to do with the lion, right? In tarot, right? The lion, the strength card, which in my deck is the lion, which is not here, but is the lion, is this feline, right? And maybe this is coming through as like the imprint on your skin about maybe, you feeling like you're always on the hunt, or maybe you're always looking for relationships, perhaps. it's very enigmatic, as I said in the beginning. Maybe you'll know how this applies to you, or what metaphor or what explanation or the significance of this metaphor, this analogy with the skin, right? With the skin of this leopard and the imprint of each relationship on your skin, leaving this mark on you, right? Maybe you'll know better than I'm seeing here. So maybe you hold this belief, Leo, that you're always going to fall into a trap, right? That each relationship, because of this past history of relationships, of you always ending up, you know, what I just heard is like betrayal, but it's not that dramatic, I don't think. It's more so like you always end up like, again, I've been fooled. I've been, carrying my partner's weight and it doesn't feel good, right? It feels like you always have to take, a long time for yourself. It's almost like the relationship ends in a note where you feel depleted, where you feel like you need to rest, where you feel like you have to take some time for yourself, right? So these two cards, they came with this particular image. The next two cards, however, because they fell out of the deck together, they were showing me how maybe you feel like you're ready for the next thing, but this is talking about passion. This is talking about love, true love. The Queen of Wands and the Ace of Cups. And actually, when the Ace of Cups turned, I saw with the corner of my eye, and I saw actually the Ace of Pentacles. And then I realized it was the Ace of Cups. So perhaps there is also maybe some sort of passion project, passion idea, the manifestation of something that you were desiring that eventually takes your heart completely, right? It's like you're completely devoted. The way that I'm seeing the combination of these two cards is that something that starts with passion, with your enchantment, with your desire to use that thing to, because I'm seeing the way that I was seeing the Ace of Pentacles in my imagination, which was almost like okay, let me see if I'll be able to explain this. You see how here there is this break, right, to make the shape of the heart. But if you were to straighten up these two lines, you would eventually get the Ace of Pentacles. You see what I mean? So I feel like what this is saying, Leo, is so encrypted. Your message is so, it's in the details, but also it's like in the analogies, right? It's like there's something that is not straightforward. It's not as it seems at first, because it's that thing that, oh my God, breathe. It's not like the way that on the outside leopards seem to have the same skin, right? It's like each one is unique. Each relationship is unique. So whatever is materializing for you, after you've given yourself some time to rest in the possibility that the next relationship perhaps could be also a trap, because why wouldn't it be if your history of relationships always ends up in this sensation that you have fallen in another trap, right? So it's like you had to marinate in the thought that maybe you don't want to be entrapped again, maybe you don't want to be caught up again, but here you are. This is where I feel like you are. It's like you have been caught by surprise by something that it was so like this shiny object, right? This shiny object that catches you by the corner of your eye. And the moment that you look at it, it's almost like folds in itself because of this folding of, the corner. That's the interesting thing. It's like the corner of your eye was catching the glimpse of a picture that was emulating the Ace of Pentacles, but the moment that your heart is in it, your passion is in it, you have your full attention drawn to it, it folds your heart. It's almost like it folds into yourself. I don't know how to express that. It's so bizarre. I'm so sorry if I can't express this properly, but I truly hope that if this is resonating, then you'll understand what I mean. Something real, something out in the open, an object, a person, a real relationship, an opportunity, a door, whatever it is that feels like you're catching with the corner of your eyes. And then when you look straight to it, it folds in itself and it just touches your heart, right? Because this folding in on itself, it's reaching the core of you, right? It's like if you were already intrigued and, it's like I'm seeing you with your ears, just, it's like something sparked your curiosity, right? Something sparked your curiosity. It's like you're no longer in this resting mode. It's like you're on the hunt again, in a sense. The moment that you see exactly what this is, which could be a potential new partner, a new relationship, a new opportunity to devote your heart to something. It doesn't need to be a partner, but in this case, it could very well be. But it seems like you're just drawn to it. Like your heart is like exploding, right? It's like something really touched your heart so profoundly, because this is where it gets really trippy. The Six of Cups coming next, what I heard with the Six of Cups was 6 times before. What does that mean, Leo? I have no idea. 6 times before? Did this happen 6 times before and this is now, the 7th time? Have you had, 6 significant relationships before? Or is it something that, happened 6 months ago or 6 years ago or 6 lifetimes ago? Because, to me, the Six of Cups represents this past, right? The past journey that when it's almost like it feels like the way that I'm seeing now it's like this glass memorabilia, right? It's like a memorabilia. It's like this what is the name of where you store china, right? It's supposed to be like glass windows or glass doors so that you can see what's inside. So it feels like memorabilia. So maybe you do, because it's like what is imprinted on your skin is perhaps this history of relationships that you've had where it's like it weighs on you a little bit. It's almost like the burden of your own skin, and it doesn't have like a good feeling to it, but in a sense it brings this memorabilia, right? It's like maybe you it's almost like you have an altar to all your exes, and it doesn't bring a good feeling about it, to be honest, Leo. So is this the nostalgic feeling? Is this maybe the belief that no matter how passionate you are about this person, about the situation, you have the belief that ultimately, because of your past history, this will end up also being a trap? Are you suspicious that this could be the case? But nevertheless, it's almost like you cannot help but fall in love. This is how I'm seeing like the weight of this Queen of Wands with the Ace of Cups, right? It's like maybe with the Ace of Pentacles that I was seeing, it's like you were trying to hold a structure, be grounded, be mature, be very stable. But then when you look towards it, like it's just, it overtakes your heart, right? Because maybe you are accustomed to always fall in love very easily, maybe you mix up passion with love very easily. It's like this blending of passion and love that for you is so intrinsical. They're so united, they're so intertwined that you don't know how to differentiate them, right? And so there's something about this memorabilia that I don't know what it is. It's coming with these words 6 times before. But I feel like this one, the 7th, right? Or this new one that is coming in, it holds common threads, it holds common feelings. Perhaps you identify maybe how it felt before, but it has something different in it because it's coming with the Lovers. So maybe the intensity is a lot bigger than these 6 previous times because just look at the, I mean, this is intense, right? It's like whatever is catching your eye, whatever is catching your heart, it's just opening your heart. It's actually folding your perception maybe of something that could be this external shiny thing that is, you know, just so enticing, so compelling that you cannot help but look straight to it. And then when you least expect it, I want to say, because you were in this mode, right? It's like you were in this, it's almost like you were in this low profile, very, it's like you were, what is the word when bears go inside to hibernate, right? You were in this hibernation mode. But then it's like there's something out there. There's something that is, you know, just sparkling, and your heart is being ignited in a sense. But it is different. It is different. There's something very specific, and I want to say the difference most of all from these 6 previous times or these memories of, you know, past relationships. Your heart is being ignited in such a way because I feel like this time is reciprocal. The thing about the reflection of these 2 hearts, and it in such a potent way, Leo, is that I feel like for some reason, maybe you don't feel necessarily carrying all of the burdens on your own, right? Maybe this time, this is different because you are not, it's like you're not carrying the burdens. Maybe you're not going to be, the word that is coming to my mind is naive, but I wasn't picking up this naivety here from the 10 of Wands. I was just, it's like actually I was seeing you ready to pounce, right? It's like you were always on the hunt and ready to pounce. So preparedness, right? It's like you were always prepared. So maybe because you were always prepared, then you were receiving challenges, right? Because it was instigating. But this time, it's different. It's almost like your memorabilia, this China setup, is so full that you don't have space in it. It's because it doesn't belong there, right? It's like your heart now is being touched in a specific way because it's folding in on itself, that is catching you by surprise, by the reciprocity. And that is what changes everything. Because the next card is the Chariot, but it's reversed. And what I saw with this card was this wheel going down the hill, right? So it's like there's something that, you know, maybe has been, you see here how this part of the Chariot seems to be like the thing that is like the barrier that is preventing the wheel from collapsing or from, you know, rolling down this hill. There's something that I want to say is this. It's like this mentality of yours, or maybe the belief that you were always going to be trapped, that you were always going to be carrying the other person's burdens, problems, whatever it is, you know, not a balanced situation, right? It's like you carrying all of the weight on your shoulders. But because your curiosity has been sparked, your heart has been ignited, you cannot help but feel that you are in love, right? That you are passionate about this, that you are just enamored, right? You have the sensation, Leo, that this doesn't really fit the past relationships, that you don't need to hold yourself back, right? It's almost like I'm seeing this as like some sort of support that is preventing the wheel from going down this hill. It's like maybe you are being cautious, right? Not to mix passion with love, because you know that that perhaps is the trap that, you know, has entrapped you before, or, you know, 6 times before, right? So maybe you're more aware of this because you have been thinking about the common thread, about, you know, all of these past relationships, knowing that each one is unique, but actually they hold this common thread that you don't want to fall so easily, but you cannot help yourself, right? The way that I'm seeing how this heart of yours is being reciprocated, right? Is being responded in the same amount, in the same intensity, and they are, it's like they are this perfect mirror, right? The other is a perfect mirror for your heart's intention, and therefore I feel like it's only a matter of time that this, maybe the expectation that yes, it will become a burden, or that, you know, eventually you will have to hold the other person's weight on your shoulders, this eventually will leave and this wheel will go downhill, right? So whatever that means, maybe this means that yes, you're going to fall in love and let this relationship be what it has to be for you at this time. So Leo, I am going to pull more cards for you, as well as the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.